feeling stronger. She agreed rough like she nah body a rough from her body. Welcome to the Intercourse Show. I'm your host, Mr. B. Today we have a very exciting show for you. We are discussing relationships, and of course, one of our best sources to have that discussion is our boy Kevin Samuels. In today's video, Kevin interviews what I believe to be a modern young Muslim woman who believes she's entitled to a high-value man. Now, she's a young mother, and she feels like that high-value man would see her as a prize and a catch. So, without any further ado, let's jump right into this video and see how it plays out. I have not seen this, so I'll be reacting as the video goes along.
Divorced, married. So I've been married for 11 years. I'm 32 now. We got married when I was 19 and a bit. Mm-hmm. And he was 24. And it was my call. I'm the one who left him. And I'm just wondering, is that the same for me to get a high value man? Would it be the same? Or does that put us on the same boat?
Well, in general, no, because men in general separate women who had children as a result of a legal marriage versus women who had children in a non-traditional way, i.e. baby mama, non-state sponsored marriage, spiritual union, whatever. Men are very processed. So if you're saying you had a legal marriage,
right,
and you burst a marital certificate, dissolution, then you are in a different category from the start.
Okay.
But then it does definitely come down to the amount of children, the age of the children, the overall disposition. How do these kids act? Where the ex-husband is? Because a man he may see you and say, I want to date you. You say you're 32, right?
Right, I am.
So that puts you as a younger, not an old woman, but you're not a young woman. That puts you firmly in, you're a woman. So a guy could say, man, and he meets you, but after they start to get to know you, all that stuff is out there. 1, 2 kids and an ex-husband. A man has to factor that in. So you mentioned specifically a high value husband. Now that is where it becomes tricky. So I got to ask you.
So basically he had pursued his PhD. He was in school the whole time. Okay. He was already pursuing his master's when he was 24. And then he got his postgrad and just kept on climbing the ladder. And I have a bachelor's. So we both were in the education field. And he comes from, pretty.
But why would you want a high value man?
That is literally, I wanted a high value man when I was younger. Okay. Got one. And then when I realized that in terms of relationship and compatibility wasn't working or it wasn't healthy for the children, I decided that I wanted 2 broken, happy homes instead of 1 broken.
Let me explain something real quick.
Right.
Hold on. Let me explain something very close. Just because your ex-husband has a PhD does not make him a high value man.
Okay.
I have very specific dimensions. It has nothing. High value man is not men that women tend to run from, they run to.
Okay.
So he may be educated, that's fine. But and being 24, it's hard for a guy to truly be high value in his 20s. There's a certain amount of maturity and gravitas that comes along with it. So maybe he was just educated and at earning potential. But
you mean when I first married him, or are you talking about right now?
Well, that's all he had in the 24.
Yeah,
he didn't make it himself. But right. but you asked the question: how does it affect your opportunities with high value men, meaning in the present? Are you still trying to get high value men?
Yes.
All right. So let me explain what a high value man is as far as I define it. A high value man is a man who meets a certain income threshold. The baseline is like $10,000 a month in Atlanta dollars and Dallas dollars. You have to adjust for whatever city you're in. He's making that money for at least about 5 years, 3 years where he's scratching the surface. That person also, other high value men look at him as a peer. He has group acceptance. He also has a network of other high value men as contacts and other people, because you can't be high value and like a loner. Meaning he also has visibility, meaning people kind of understand who he is, what he does. So you don't have to just say, I'm an entrepreneur. That's vague. And then last, he's useful, utility. He's useful to himself, others, and the group. He's not just a loner hoarding this stuff. So now that's the basic stuff. Now, there may be other things on top of that. There may be morals, principles, values that are different, but that's in general.